Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Lyric Explorer. My name is Pedro and I created this whole show to invite my favorite artists and watch them unpeel their Photoshop files as we talk about their processes, about their methods, about how they go about their painting. Today with us we have Jack Hurley. He's a good friend of mine. We studied together at AUB, and then right after AUB, I think most of the people that I was studying with moved to London and I moved to Manchester. That's where our paths split, and every time I go to London, it's like a uni group getting together. Jack is one of those artists that his paintings, they look like photos. He actually does use photos, and then he paints on top of the photos to take a little bit the photographic look away. So I guess I'm already spoiling some of the episode, but yeah, he has a very rendered approach. Basically, he really goes all out with the rendering. He takes photos that he uses for references as well, for textures and stuff like that. And yeah, that's it. I don't want to spoil more. So yeah, enjoy.
Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Lyric Explorer. Today with us we have a good friend of mine, Jack Hurley. When I meet people in the industry, I try not to mention like the studio specifically that we met, but I guess like in Bournemouth with the uni, it's fine. We met at AUB. Jack is one of those artists that is like, his paintings, he goes to a level of rendering that is just not humanly possible for me. So I'm very excited to see. I already see the amount of layers and how different they are with all the adjustments there. But like we haven't looked through the layers yet in our like little chat before this. So I'm excited to see this. But yeah, Jack, do you want to kind of present yourself?
I'm a background and matte painting artist in London now. Work for a few studios, and I'm very excited to be on this podcast.
Is there like is this painting like part of like a bigger project, or is this painting like a one-off kind of study or one-off painting? Like,
yeah, it was. I actually did this quite a while ago. This was done, a bit embarrassed to say, around lockdown, but it was based off like a camping holiday I had with my friends. It was like a really good, it was based on this camping trip where we there's lots of swimming and exploring and stuff. And I did some other paintings where these people are in kayaks and they're kind of going through this sort of tropical, jungly landscape. And then the next piece is all these people arriving on this beach, which was inspired by this like little secret cove me and my friends found. And then I thought, oh, maybe there should be something inside that would be actually interesting. I really wanted to try some 3D sculpting. I think there's an artist which I really like called Jama Jurabev, who does some amazing sculptures. And I was probably inspired by him at the time.
Okay.
And thought I should do a piece which incorporates like a lot of 3D as well as 2D. Because the other two paintings I just described were just all photo bashing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This I had to learn more about like 3D sculpting and modeling and lighting and rendering and photo bashing on top of that and all that stuff.
You started with the outside, which was inspired by this trip. And then you were like, okay, if the outside looks like this, then I'm going to create an inside to go with it. And then you ended up creating this kind of inside bit of like a mythical Cornwall from an ancient Cornwall. And you've created a 3D model for all of these different paintings?
So I did two paintings using this 3D model. The other one, this is the second one I did. So I had a bit of practice and laid out the scene better in the first one.
Yeah.
And I felt like I improved it more by doing it the second time in this one from like a slightly different angle, showing a bit more of the room.
Okay. And the way you use 3D, because I know artists that, for example, they have this idea for this set and they create this set in 3D and then they create a composition. And I have other artists that I know other artists that they start with a composition and then they create 3D to match this composition to help them, I don't know, with perspective or if like I'm doing a painting of a stadium right now, and I'm like, I wish I knew Blender because it's like a cylindrical stadium with different levels and different angles, and I'm like, this is a nightmare of perspective. So do you do the composition kind of sketches first, or you figure that out with the camera when the 3D is done?
I think for this, I think I sort of flip-flopped between the two.
Okay.
And I think I focused on designing like some of the assets first. So designing what these pillars look like. And what this main like centerpiece would look like.
Yeah.
And I think I designed another piece where it's just like this huge like pillar gate kind of thing. So I think I focused on designing those first. I probably did some rough sketches, and then I put it all into 3D. And then I got I think I created like 4 different compositions, and then I painted over them in black and white for all the stuff that I was going to add on extra.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like kind of started 3D, went 2D, went back to 3D kind of thing.
Okay. I'm excited to see how it all started. Like, I imagine like the layers don't reflect chronologically how you approached it. Like if we start from the layer below, so we will say this like already like in advance, but should we get to the layers?
Yes. Yeah, no, I was going to say that as well. And because it's been a while since I've painted this, like, I can't remember the exact order I did it in, but I know that it wouldn't have been all chronological.
Yeah.
So should I start from what it looked like from the very beginning?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're starting with this pretty cool start, actually.
Yeah, so this is actually not the first layer. This is the first layer.
Wow, okay.
I think I'm trying to remember if I manually moved this or if I used Photoshop to move this. I think I used Photoshop to move this because it seems to be cut out there. But yeah, I realized that the composition didn't seem right. Maybe I had some feedback from someone at this stage, and it all looked too close together, like too in the middle, which I thought isn't very good. So yeah, I adjusted it. And like this is the render which I got from Blender.
Okay.
I think I used Cycles, which is a bit more of a in-depth sort of rendering engine out of the two, because they have like Eevee and Cycles. Eevee is a real-time renderer, and it's a bit more lower quality, maybe at least for like lighting-wise. Yeah. And then Cycles it's more realistic with how the bounce lighting works. And I think I just wanted to play around with it as well.
Yeah, wow. It already looks so cinematic, like just this first render, like the painting is there. Now it's just about like rendering and adding colors, but like
exactly. And I'm gonna come back up here because this is the first render pass which I got. And then I think from that, like I already had a black and white thumbnail sketch. So I kind of knew how I wanted to make the lighting look and the kind of values. So I had, like, when I had this render, I wasn't starting from scratch because I'd already had a sketch beforehand. And for this, it's just kind of like separating things. Like I had this is a luminosity layer to get this kind of nice fuzzy glow around the light, the water.
Okay.
And then I had to paint out these rocks here. And I wonder if that's because of the luminosity layer. And then, I wanted to move them. That's why. Because, again, it was probably too close.
Yeah.
What it was. So, like, I had this all in a group at the bottom of the image, which I've done with other, like...
And you were painting in these kind of, like, warm tones. Like, these rocks, are they, like, normal blending mode, just one layer, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna draw this quick rock here just to see how...
These rocks are from the render.
Okay, so it's like you're almost like photo bashing your own render, like taking the things and adjusting their placement.
Yeah.
Okay.
As if it was an asset, and you're just you've just
Cool.
been given it and you can move it about.
Cool.
So this like whole base grouping is just like getting all this stuff I've got from the 3D and just like putting it all into one space and doing all this technical stuff kind of first. And then above that, I can just do more fun things. Like I guess I wasn't confident in just flattening this down, which maybe I would now. But because you get lots of render passes, which can be quite useful.
Oh,
so I think this is an ambient occlusion layer.
Yeah.
If I turn this onto normal, oh god, you can see. Okay, yeah, you can see I've cut this out and moved it. But this is the ambient occlusion render that you get, and it just shows you all the like darkest points in the image, which light wouldn't reach. And if you just put this on multiply, then it just gives it an extra bit of definition.
Yeah.
Like all this texture detail, which you wouldn't be able to see as much. Maybe.
Yeah, that makes such a difference. Yeah.
And again, because this wasn't done chronologically, I probably would have done this lighting and atmos layer, at least part of it first.
Okay.
So I can see this background area. Because otherwise it's the lighting is just too much of a spotlight and there's nothing going on like here at all.
Yeah, because the final painting is much brighter than this. This is like very, very like spotlighty. Yeah, you said that.
And these layers are just, I like using linear dodge is the main one I like for light layer.
Really? Because you've used like luminosity and linear dodge. I've never used these blending modes before.
I don't know why I use luminosity, to be fair, but linear dodge is my go-to lightening layer.
I see. Okay, so you don't use like color dodge or overlay for like lighting. You prefer this one?
I would more likely use overlay. I've never really used color dodge. I think I get a bit scared by it.
Yeah,
it's quite intense.
It is very intense. I only use it for like artificial neon lighting. Like anything softer than that, I use overlay.
And then I will also just add like a normal layer, like which I'll just add a light beigey color or whatever that looks like light and atmosphere. And then I think I've masked out some rough areas for this screen layer.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like this is important for me to have at the top, just so I know like the sort of areas of interest. Like without this, you can't really see any of this background area.
Yeah, that's true.
At least on my screen.
That's true. Yeah.
So then I would probably go back down to the bottom of the layer structure, and then I've sort of separated all the different sort of sections and elements into different groups, and I need to have them color coded, because if they're not color coded, then it's just crazy.
Really? So what's your like color coding? Do you have like a specific, like for example, if I'm doing After Effects, characters are red for me and light is yellow. That's my color code. That's the only color code that I'm like, it's always like this. Do you also have stuff like that, or just different colors?
I think so. I think it also depends on the colors of the painting. I think yellow is usually like a light.
Yeah.
Green, I'm usually going to do foliage. Blue is going to be water. And I guess I chose orange because there are enough. But like if I was doing maybe a nighttime painting, maybe the light would be blue. I guess also I should go up to the top here because I have all my references in the Photoshop file as well. And these are like references which I'm either referring to or I'm just like slapping them straight in the painting.
Amazing.
So these, I think most of these ones are ones that I've taken. I think I wanted to have a bit to challenge myself and try and use as many of the photos I've taken as I can, because I've taken so many, and I thought I should probably use them.
That's such a
These might
flex to
actually.
have your own library of like references, like with photographies and stuff. It's like that's one of those things that I'm like, oh, I should do this. Every year I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own library of textures and blah blah blah. But then like, okay, next year I'm gonna make my own library of textures and like photos.
But I mean, even the people who make their own libraries of textures, they'll use them like once and then they'll just forget about them.
Really?
Like, I was probably looking at the internet most of the time, and then I was like, wait a second. I've got like a whole hard drive full of these random photos I thought I was going to use one day.
Yeah.
And I think these might have been from my friend Victor's, who have taken these, who I asked if I could use. But this is from our trip in Iceland.
Cool.
We went to at university. And these photos were so useful. Like the water was just so perfect and like painterly.
So you actually had no references from Cornwall in this painting.
No. In the other ones, I think I did.
Okay.
Oh, did I though? Is that just a lie? I at least looked at the secret code for what like the kind of rocks would look like.
Okay.
And I think these are just sort of like mood inspiration of like, or like rock textures for the cave.
Nice.
And like this kind of stuff we thought would be really useful for the like statue. Lots of nice textures. And then a lot of this foliage from that we just saw, I will add to another folder on top as I've separated it.
Oh, wow. Do you do like color range selection or some like smart selection to like isolate these specific textures?
Yeah, it was
that is cool.
It's using the channels, which was I think I learnt from this concept artist John Sweeney, who's really good. And it was like one of the first sort of tips I learnt. So yeah, I got the layer, it's all rasterized. I go in the channels, and then it's like it's looking at which channel has the best sort of value separation, like the clearest image of like the darks and the lights.
Oh, wow.
And maybe green is probably good. And then I'll duplicate it. And now I've got it here. So you can already see the other sort of channels I've got, which I duplicate selection-wise. And then on this one, I'll go Command L or Control L, and then play with the values to get, like, say I don't want all these dark areas.
Yeah.
To get the like biggest contrast. And then I'll just select, and I always forget if it selects the white or the black, but I'll figure it out. And then I'll copy and paste. And there we go.
That blew my mind. I'm going to be honest, I've never used channels. I have no idea what it is. It just blew my mind with this. Wow.
But then, yeah, so then, I mean, and then it hasn't done everything. I mean, because this is all still green, so it still selected that. But I mean, you could just like select this area, and then you've got.
So cool. I can't believe I've had a matte painting job and I had no idea about this, like, about this really cool technique. Wow.
It's super useful. I always get curious about the other sort of ways people do that as well. Because, yeah, I'd never used the color range method. I think I'd only seen that recently.
Okay.
But yeah, so like, I've got all my references in the file, so I can just quickly drag and drop them and duplicate and whatever. And also very important, this is what you get out of a render, called a clown pass or an ID pass, depending on the render thing you use. And it's like so useful. Yeah. Like it just gives you all the selections you need to just magic wand, and then okay, I can paint all inside this area.
Yeah, because the moment I saw like this really dark render, I was like, I remember the painting being really bright. So did you just lasso tool? I'm like, okay, no, like, so you've used this pass to like select it and then bring back the the light and the
Yeah.
color and stuff. Okay, cool.
But I don't know if I would bring back lighting. Oh no, I guess I would. Yeah, I would probably like add some overlay layers for like certain bounce lighting situations.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then so I kind of just break it down by section. So I think I've got a background and the walls. This is just like doing all the cave stuff first. I guess I'm thinking of it in terms of building it from the ground up. Because I have all the like foliage and the water and everything on top of this as well. So I've got some like rock textures from the references I found, and even that like is pretty messy. It's pretty ugly looking distortion thing there. And this is on pin light. Yeah, I think I'll mess around with the kind of layer mode type thing that it is to see what gives the best texture look for the area.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it doesn't need it. It just needs to be on a normal layer. And yeah, so I've added a multiple here, but it's like all section by section, just so like I know, just to keep it organized. Because I mean, how many layers have I got? If I had a new one, 179. There's too many, to be honest.
I thought it'd be more. When I see like really,
I thought it'd be more as well, to be honest.
yeah, when I see like a really textured painting like yours, I think straight away like 300 layers or more. Like how many pixels is the painting?
Could be 4K, I think.
Chic.
The first other shot I did of this one, it was just HD. And then so like yeah, this is the whole folder for like all the walls. So I've got a whole bunch of just rock textures and cracks and all this
Nice.
kind of detail in all of this stuff. And yeah, I mean, it kind of looks. Well, what is even this? I guess I painted on some highlights. Maybe like I'm still messing around with what I actually want the painting to look like as I'm doing it. Like I still don't fully know. All the problems haven't been solved.
Yeah.
Which I think is a bad habit. I think the older I've gotten, the more problems I want to solve earlier on.
Interesting. Okay.
Because otherwise I'll just spend ages just like figuring out how to paint this bit of grass, or I'll be like, wait, what's the focal point?
Oh yeah, that one is useful to have. But I think it's pretty clear where the focal point is, like from the very beginning. This one.
Yeah, and I think I also on the top I have all these notes, which I keep in red. It's like a red marker pen, and I had to do some like composition guides.
Cheeky, okay.
Just to really, and look at that. Was that golden ratio right on? Perfect. You love to see it. So yeah, I have this kind of stuff as if to remind me what I need to do next.
Yeah.
And then, wow, that's a crazy color. But yeah, so now I've just got more textures. And if you were to look at them, there would probably be like this one, for instance.
Wow. Yeah, that selection really helps. Just the fact you can isolate that texture like right there.
There we go. Yeah, so I guess this is from like a concrete wall kind of texture.
Yeah.
It's just had all these scratches and stuff, which I just had to isolate, which was really useful.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can kind of you can see it. Yeah, it just really helps to break up the flatness you get from a 3D.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice because it's like it's not in perspective, the texture, but because you have the shadow on top, you have all of that definition. It's like it's very forgiving. Like so, it doesn't look like a flat texture. It's like wrapping around the pillar, like really nicely.
Yeah, I think that kind of sometimes that just happens by accident when I'm just playing around with things.
Yeah. That's skills.
Yeah, so lights now. Oh yeah, so I see what I've done. So I added this I painted over this earlier,
Mm.
these paint marks, and I guess I wasn't happy with the kind of texture I was getting from here. Maybe, I think I probably looked at it and I was like, wait a second, maybe this doesn't actually look like what cave rock textures look like.
Mm.
So I ended up adding in some photos
Cool.
for a bit more definition, and then adding some light just to make it pop a bit more. And the other thing I use a lot, which I loved when I discovered this, or when someone told me about this, is using the layer style, I guess it's called, to block out or like reveal parts of like a layer, because that's also so useful. Instead of having to do all the selection to the channel selection, what I did to get rid of the blacks, I could just go in here and click this slider and then get rid of all the blacks.
Oh.
And then that basically does it all for you. But then it gets a bit more complicated with like actually selecting it all, because if I select this, it doesn't select all the intricate cutouts it's already done.
Yeah. But just because like when you're sharing your screen, we can't see new windows. So this slider that you're talking about, can you tell us like what option is that actually on? Because we can only see that your window.
It's just by double clicking on the layer.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I know when you said layer styles, I know what you were talking about. That's why I was like asking you to specify that a little bit, because when you double click the layer, you also have the option.
It came up on my laptop screen, so I was like, okay, I'll drag this up, but because I'm only showing the window, it's not showing up.
But it's the slider in the layer styles. Yeah, like when you double click the layer, people will.
And it's just super useful. Like I urge everyone to play around with it, because
so cool.
Even like for painting and not photo bashing, it's just really useful, and just the sort of intricacies you could do with it. But just double click on the layer and this panel will show up. But so then that's like, I think this is the kind of base I gave myself.
We're starting to get some color now. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And like I love painting foliage, and adding this kind of detail on top of a painting, I think it brings it to life for sure.
So cool. Yeah, definitely.
Corner. But then, okay, wait. Let's do water first, I suppose, because that is chronological. So, I've also broken even the water up into like little groupings.
Cool.
And this is just using the references which I had pulled and are in the folder.
Are these the Iceland photos?
Yeah, I think most of them are. Even this one, I think. And like the color was definitely not like this in the original photo.
Yeah.
But I had to like manipulate it and make it more extreme and put it on hard light. Oh.
So you kind of discover the color as you go. Then you don't do like a color sketch. You kind of have a feeling like, okay, and I'm gonna add some greens here. It's gonna be mostly this kind of like warm rocks, and then some greens around the painting. Like, how do you go about your color decisions? Like when you approach a painting at the beginning, do you like black and white, and then I'll figure out the colors after? Or
I think for this one, that was what I did. Because I did this quite a few years ago. It's not necessarily exactly what I'll do now. Like I definitely went in a bit more blind with this one.
Yeah.
I think the black and white composition was the main thing that I used for this.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of, I think values was something I was trying to learn a lot more about, and how to group the values together and how it can express what the focal point is. So there's a lot of layer manipulation. Like these all seem to be on different blending modes, and I'm using the double clicky layer tool to isolate certain things to make them pop in front or behind an object.
Cool. It's so cool the way you build water, like so many different.
Yeah, I think for water, and because like the render is is just flat. Like it's just like the gray ground. And I think I was trying to think about what the important bits of water are, and it's usually like the highlights is what gives you the texture of what water looks like.
Definitely.
So I just isolating to have the highlights.
Cool. Wow. Just it turned on like 4 layers and this totally different feeling just by adding that water on the darker bit and on the brighter bit. Is just like the painting feels like like almost complete.
Because for like these areas, I guess I've added reflections and stuff, but it's I wasn't thinking about it as if I was painting like blue water or anything like that. And then the waterfall was like the really fun part.
Okay. This is one layer. No way.
No. I mean, it's not as many as I thought, but it's a bunch of different ones. So like there's this, subtle kind of texture effect here. Duplicating it around. But I probably started with the bigger shape first and added on top. And like these are the Iceland waterfall photos. And then I added a bit of painting on top just to fill in the gaps on like some of the areas. But I just love how you just squint your eyes. It really makes the foreground element pop because it's like within one grouping.
It looks like that nature made this waterfall, but that like brighter bit in the middle, I can see how strategic you were with your values to like reveal that little bit of silhouette on the left side of this main like prop in the painting. It's like it's a very strategic waterfall.
I think there's quite a few times where there's like the logic of the painting and then like the logic of the world or the setting. And sometimes you've got to choose which one to go for. And if it makes the painting look cooler, maybe that's not good advice for concept artists or whatever.
But this is a good example of that, of a really good middle ground, because it doesn't feel like I don't even know, like a dodgy waterfall, like it doesn't feel like it feels like natural, but it's also very strategic in the way that like it highlights that darker silhouette around it. I think you found like a really nice middle ground between feeling believable, but it also doing its kind of storytelling job of like, look here.
I think even if I was like painting all this instead of photo bashing, I would still probably use the same kind of grouping structure, and I would still probably be playing around with like this kind of thing, like, oh, okay, wait, I need a waterfall, but oh yes, if I put it behind, then it lightens up the main character or the main structure here. And then I think from this stage, I went back into black and white, and there was a few questions which I thought needed answering about the extra kind of foliage. And so I would kind of go back and forth quite a few times.
So you start black and white, and then you go color, and then you go black and white again, and you paint black and white, and then you make it color again, or you just...
I think I just sort of duplicated like a flattened version of it and moved it to the top, and then did like another value sketch on top of it.
Okay, cool.
Just probably because I might have been having some issues with what I was doing, and like for the foliage, I probably needed to design it a bit better. Like the lighting and everything looks pretty cool and pretty clear here, but I think I needed to paint like, I think this little area. As soon as I painted this bit, I was like, yes, this is what it needed. Like I knew it was missing something.
I see what you mean, yeah.
This kind of foliage detail was what helped me realize the kind of details that need to be added on top.
Very nice.
And then this is what happens when you add all of it on top, which is a lot.
Oh my god, it's so cool. It's like when they say like the difference between like PS2 graphics and PS4 graphics. Like this was just like boom, like you just dropped this on us like wow.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
But
wow.
It's all just like lots of layering things up.
Fair.
This was like a general green paint layer. Like I think I was thinking about it, and
Now we're adding the little planties here and there.
yes,
Wow.
it's all. Some of it can be really tiny layers,
Yeah.
which I didn't want to commit to one. And then we've got some detail over here,
Yeah.
just real small. And then it's just trying to figure out like, okay, I've even though I've added these photo textures onto this area, in the end, I'm covering most of it up.
Yeah.
And then it was probably like a battle between deciding which areas to keep and not cover up with foliage. But this is probably the most fun part of it because
Yeah.
like there was so much. It just adds so much
It
more
must be like really
detail
rewarding
and everything.
to see that. Yeah.
And it's just fun to like play around with the organic shapes, which foliage can take on.
Yeah.
And I'm still I'm playing around with darken modes, lighten modes, overlays for like a bit of like intense bounce light or something.
Yeah. Wow.
Like this is just like it just gives sort of texture to it all, and even though it covers up the image and it's not like perfectly in perspective or anything, it's just like this added noise to go on top.
Yeah. So
And
cool.
some bits of paint.
And that the plants on the back of like the creature, so good. It's like it's part of like the character design almost, like
Yeah.
so nice. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just lots of this. And then figuring out which bits are in shadow and what makes sense and all that stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of layering, and this probably took me, a while to place properly, and I was probably very indecisive about what goes where.
Yeah. How many hours would
and
you say
then-
in total that this painting took you?
That's tough. Because there was definitely a lot of hours while the painting was open, but I was just on YouTube. Because this was lockdown, so I wasn't super motivated all the time.
Yeah.
It probably took me a week to do this.
Okay.
Because back then I was still learning as I was doing it. In a work environment, it would probably take me a lot quicker. Like I've done jobs and I've managed to paint like huge backgrounds at like a style where I'm like, oh wow, that's like quite impressive quality. I didn't think I could do that. But then like as soon as I'm at home, left on my own devices, it becomes a lot harder. It's like a totally different scale.
Yeah.
But I would probably say maybe 2 days, maybe
2 days.
maybe a day.
2 days on the work schedule or on the house schedule?
Work schedule.
On the work schedule, okay. That's fucking fast. That is like really fast, yeah.
I think there's just extra sort of flourishes. But like
Right.
when I was doing it, I felt a lot more pressure to get it right when I was doing it because it was lockdown, I was unemployed, and this was like a first step into like trying to be like a concept artist kind of
Right. Yeah.
artist. And that was the direction I was like really trying to head for. I thought I would do, if I made this perfect, then like all the jobs will come flooding and be all
Yeah.
sorted, but that's like not necessarily the case. So I think I just spent too long, trying to make it perfect instead of doing like 10 of these,
Yeah. You got to go through that like pressure to get to a point where you're like, no, I'm confident I can deliver this like quicker. I don't need to hesitate so much. Like you got to go through the hesitation before you realize that.
And then so I think the last kind of little groupings and stuff like that is just these extra bits for the water. I felt like the water was probably the only thing that I could like truly paint in and have my control in that. Like all this sort of steam and realizing how you can cover up parts of the image and what really is the main point of interest. And this is really fun to do as well. Or the kind of like effects painting. It's like when you do a painting and you just add like that white highlight, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
love that moment. Love it.
It's so nice. And like I've had like other paintings I've done where all the lighting would be on in a grouping or in one layer or something, and then you turn it on and off and on just to like see how cool it looks.
Yeah.
Like I've shown my non-artist friends this kind of stuff, and they're just like completely blown away because like, wow, it's just like turning the lights on.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. So
I
fun.
love that moment. I think I have that a lot with my students when they bring up their first submission on lights, and I do like a paint over with the lights, and then I show them like, you have a cool concept, but just be more confident with your lighting. And then I switch on and off the light, and they're like, whoa, okay, yeah, it makes a total difference to draw the light with more confidence, or like more cinematic, or all the stages that you've been through so far.
And then we've got a little guy here because I thought, I mean, he's included in the render. I guess because you need to know some sense of scale, because if there wasn't a little guy there, you could be a bit confused as to how big or how small it is.
Yeah.
And I think I still struggle with this now, but like adding a character into a painting, I find quite hard. I think color-wise, I struggle with it because like I'll focus so much on the background and the colors and what the whole landscape looks like, and I know I've got some characters in there, but then when I try and add like what color clothes they're wearing, my artistic knowledge just like goes out the window. I'm like, oh god, I don't know how this fits.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. So what were the clothes in the end, though? I'm curious now. What was the final decision?
I mean, he's just wearing a red.
A red.
I think
okay.
I managed to find a photo of a guy, and I sort of manipulated it and changed the t-shirt color and added a backpack and all this stuff, just because
nice.
the actual render man was just a bit too stiff and obvious, and looks like he's wearing underwear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like, cool. I'm still not super happy with this, and I remember not being happy with it when I did it, as well, because in the previous painting of this sort of series, there is a guy in the same position he's in, but he's got a white t-shirt. But if I had him wearing a white t-shirt in this one, he wouldn't stand out. Yeah. Yeah, he would. The values wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And then what have we got here? Yeah, I think I wanted to make the circle of light even more soft and fluffy, a bit more like atmosphere, and merge into the corners.
Right. Yeah.
And I think this is probably just a bit from like normal painting. Like, yeah, this is it on 100% opacity.
Yeah.
And then obviously we have the lighting, which was on top the whole time, but without it, it looks really ugly.
Wow.
And this is probably not I don't think it's a great way to work. If it was in a professional setting, like when I was matte painting, I definitely had quite a few tricky situations where I would do stuff like this, and then because you need to merge it all into
you can't do parallax if you do that.
Yeah, so you just have to like duplicate all these layers and clip them onto different layers and merge it that way, and it's just a bit of a pain. But I don't really have that much foresight. And then on top of that, there's not much else. One thing which I learned from another concept artist, which I wanted to try out, was using like a lighten layer. You can just see it in the foreground, and it just kind of it was to lift the blacks. So they're all more grouped together, because if I turn it off, there's more detail happening in the foreground. Yeah. Over here. And I think I just wanted to emulate what they were doing. And I thought it was a cool trick, because it immediately sort of gets rid of all that. And then have a little curves adjustment on top, which brightens it even more. And then, you got your classic noise.
Yeah.
Because I think I was big into that back then. And that is it. That is the final
That's
thing.
it.
And we came from this.
Yes.
to
Oh
this.
my God. Yeah. What a ride. What a ride.
So
The
fun.
plants part really blew my mind. Like, just when I got so used to see only the rocks in the beginning of the conversation. When you turned on all of the plants, I was like, oh, yeah, like, of course, like, I remember all of these plants. Like, really caught me there by surprise. Really, really nice. Wow. We have this one final thing that we're starting here with Jack for the first time, which is at the end of each episode, I'll ask the guests to give one quick tip. Like, it can be something really as small as like a blending mode that you like to use. It can be something really like a small thing that you think makes a difference in your day-to-day like painting method. What would be your quick tip?
I guess the thing which I use most is flipping the canvas.
Nice.
But not flipping using this, because when you've flipped the canvas using like going through image or that kind of thing, it takes a long time. Especially if you've got like a big canvas. So change your shortcut to this, to go to flip it from view and then flip horizontal. And then I just changed it to like Command F because it's like way more instant. Wow. And it just forces you to do it a lot more.
So you flip from view.
Yeah, so you're not actually flipping the canvas.
Yeah.
And but the only thing is like once you're flipped, your brush is at the opposite orientation to where you think it is. Because because you're only flipping the view.
So does the Wacom work in reverse then?
No, it's still normal. It's just like, say if you've got a flat brush and it's
like that, it will be yeah. Okay.
But it's super useful because having to wait any like kind of delay or lag when you're painting, it just like adds up and takes you out the moment. So
that's so useful. Fuck, I did not know this was possible, because for me, any like little thing that takes me out of the zone, I'm already getting up, making my bed, I don't know, go do something, blah, blah, blah. And then like every time I flip the canvas, if I'm like drawing a huge painting or with a lot of layers, then like it starts loading. I'm like, okay, I'm out of the zone now. I'll go do something else. And that like, it takes me like, I don't know, 15 minutes to come back to the painting.
Exactly.
So that's, wow. That's, what a twist. Wow.
Yeah, flip your canvas.
Flip your canvas. Amen. Jack, thank you so much for being so available, like with such short notice. Like we always like, okay, can we do this tomorrow? And you're like, no, actually it was in 2 days on Friday. Like, and you're like, okay, let's do it. And thank you so much for this amazing, like, kind of workshop you just gave us. Like so many, I mean, we have this one final tip, but I feel like you've been giving us tips all along with like small little bits of process. You didn't just turn on the layer, you actually turned on the layer, took us to a different view, showed us how you went around it. And that's like, I'm sure that a lot of people are going to find that super useful. Like I might challenge myself to do a photo bashing. Like I haven't done that in such a long time that I should like challenge myself to get away from like lines or more that kind of cartoonish thing and try to go at this again, because I'm probably very rusty on this front.
But even you could challenge yourself to paint your own textures and using those techniques and just warping them around and painting something from the abstract you get through.
Yeah, the photos thing was also like, yeah, that's a pretty cool idea too, even though I feel like I would use them once and then I would forget about them too. Jack, tell us where your final words are. Tell us what's going on. Tell us how can people find you, what you up to at the moment. Tell us everything.
Yeah, so I'm unemployed at the moment, which means I've got lots of free time to work on my personal paintings, which is really nice. I'm trying to, like, some of my more recent stuff is a bit different from this kind of style. It's more painterly and less photobashy. So you can find my Instagram at jackhurleyart, and hopefully I'll be posting some more projects soon. Lots of ideas, but not much painting.
Not much painting, yeah.
I'm hoping to get into gouache painting.
Oh,
Could be my next venture.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be cool to try and meet up with people in London and do some plein air sessions. Maybe plein air for next year would be like an actual proper outdoor painting session.
Yeah, going analog here with
Yes,
your
exactly,
paintings.
yeah.
Yeah,
Touching
Nice.
grass.
Touchy grass. Nice. Well, thank you so much again for this. And yeah, guys, Layer Explorer, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun and I certainly learned a lot of things. And I'll see you guys next week. Take care.